Welcome
That's
back
spicy,
to
John.
it is. It's a good one. It's a banger. Welcome back, Triple Cross Podcast. Dude, I just thought of this. I wanted to tell you this, Cameron, but I didn't. So everybody's gonna share in this. I was at Wendy's drive-through. I ate Wendy's for lunch. Um, which by the way, this is not a Wendy's ad, but they have like like a loaded nacho cheeseburger. It sounds not good. It's real good. Highly
I
recommend.
can dig it. I can
Highly
dig it.
recommend.
That sounds like something that would be on the Jack in the Box Munchie Meal menu.
Yeah, I'm gonna precursor this story you that I mean you already know this, but by telling everyone else, I'm not racist. I have no problem with black people or anything like that. All right. But there is a song by a comedian where he's a white comedian and he uses the blacks in it. And I was singing the song in my car, which, I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not. And I'm singing it like that's what's going on. And then the window like opens and it's a black like person who's like, did I like interrupt you? Like, what's going on here? What did I walk into? I don't know I know what you're, man. It was weird. Strange experience.
Well, I mean, that sounds really exciting. It sounds like maybe it would have been accentuated by being there. It sounds like one of those stories. Maybe it's still good, but it might have been even better.
The comedian's Bo Burnham, by the way. A lot of people know who he is.
Yeah, I think,
and I think you know what song I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But like I was just singing along. It was on my AirPods too. That's the thing. It's not like it was coming through my car. Like I use my AirPods while I'm in my car. So it's not, she didn't know, like, she's like, you're just like by yourself to the silence. And I open the window and you're singing about the blacks. What are you doing, man?
Yeah, that's wild.
It was, I felt like, I'm like, should I? Nope. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to give her my credit card and pretend that never happened until I talk.
But who isn't a Bo Burnham fan though, right? Like everybody likes Bo Burnham. I think after the pandemic and everybody had to stay inside and he did the special that perfectly described how all of us were feeling. A little stir crazy and whatnot. I mean, I think he won the whole country over basically.
I think people like him. I don't think that everybody loves him. Like, I don't love him. Actually, I do love a lot of his older stuff. I do not love Inside. It's not good.
Well,
I like a couple songs on there.
The data is still early on, but it appears our audience is with you. Right now, 100% of the chat has voted no, they're not a Bo Burnham fan. Sorry, Bo.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
It's because he's singing about the blacks, It's on him.
Should have asked about Bo Jackson, maybe. Like, who doesn't like Bo Jackson?
They're probably all like, who's Bo Burnham? Who does he play for?
Maybe that's why they don't like Bo Burnham. It's just comparing him to another Bo. It's just, he doesn't stack up well. There's not a lot of Bo's.
True.
The ones you do know, they're quite beastly. I mean, I'm really just thinking Bo Jackson.
That's the thing about the name Bo. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be named Bo and be like, you gotta own that name.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it means like man, right, or boy, or what, something like in some language, French, I would assume.
Sure. Yeah,
that
sounds.
I think that's real.
Yep.
I think
that sounds like
fake
like
news,
science.
probably.
Yep. No, I'm on board with that. Let's stick with that narrative. That it means manliest of men. That's what the word Bo means in French. So yeah, you're not allowed to have the name if you're not like a dude, like a dude's dude, which Bo Burnham is not.
He's not. No, I agree.
Just
he's
says,
not.
I heard of him. Yeah, that's
never heard of him.
Yeah, there's definitely there's a subsection of the American public who's never heard of him for sure.
Yeah, well, he definitely has nothing to do with sports, so it is an interesting fit for us to bring him up on a sports podcast. But this is kind of the moment where, we have just the diehards who show up like right on the bell, which we love you guys for that. So, you guys like to hear our thoughts of things outside of sports from time to time. I know, so that's a little rabbit hole down. We're comedy guys, John and I both. I think.
Yeah, totally. Ever tried stand up? I said that sentence weird. You ever tried stand up? I put my emphasis in the wrong place. Have you ever tried stand up? Would you ever try stand up?
I haven't done. I wouldn't mind it. I haven't done stand up proper. I've done like improv in like a troupe before for a little bit, things like that. But stand up, yeah, I guess I would just want to feel prepared, like have like an act.
Well, yeah,
Like,
no, you don't
I think
just
a lot of
go
people
out
think
there.
like those guys are just so funny. I don't know if everybody really knows that or intellectualizes that. I'm like, you have to have an act to go, like at least a few
Yeah,
minutes worth.
they write the jokes down. They write them and then they
Yeah,
practice them. I mean,
yeah.
there's some people who do a lot of crowd work for sure, but like,
Right. But when it comes to like the things you watch as specials, like the days of like a crowd work special, those days are long gone.
right,
That's been only like the biggest names back in like the 70s, 80s maybe did that like once in their career.
yeah.
It's like a weird one-off thing. Yeah, not really how it's done, but I would do it. I think a lot of people would be turned off by it just because they're like afraid of the stage, afraid of the attention, and I don't know. That's not the biggest thing that bothers me, I guess. So
I've heard public speaking is like one of the biggest fears, like phobias that people have.
yeah, I mean, I get it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian's at, are we talking college football when we talk NFL? We don't cover college sports on here. We just aren't as into them.
Get better at it. Get good enough to where somebody will pay you actual money.
I mean, they pay him actual money now.
I guess that's true. I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
I know almost nothing about it especially for having a sports podcast. I've not followed that, but it's because we don't cover college sports.
We don't cover it, and we're just think when you're a pro sports fan. I mean, this is the debate: college sports, and what do we had this debate last year in March? Like, is college football or college basketball better, or is NBA basketball better? Look, NBA undoubtedly better. Like, they're better players. It's all the best ones from the college players. Like, it's only the best ones go there. So
for sure,
yeah, they're better. And I think it's hard to watch because we've even talked about before, like a bunch of like Jared, who's been on the pod, and myself and stuff. We play in these like pro-am leagues. And like we've talked about outside of this, like Casey's like, oh, we should cover those on live stream, stuff like that. I'm like, I don't think you understand. Like, this is why we don't like college basketball. It's gonna be what you think. It's gonna look like high school basketball, which does not look that good when used to watch it when you're watching it on TV or on the internet and you're used to watching NBA basketball.
Yeah, no, I totally get where you're coming from on that. I think that's why, over the summer here, I guess now summer is like over. Is September 1st, is summer over? Are we in fall? It feels like it, kind of.
Well, I don't know. I'll go by the official calendar date, which I don't know what that is. So we're going to go
close. I don't think we're quite there.
I think you got to hit Labor Day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that is pretty much when it is. Well, what I was going to say is I think one of the reasons why I saw cornhole is this kind of opportunity to do some like live sport types of stuff streaming is specifically because of that. Very few people actually watch professional cornhole. So people who are like decent amateurs look really good when you only throw once a year in the backyard or at some party, at your friend's house when you're half drunk. Like, so, and I think if people did tune into at least the most recent one we did, we definitely saw a high level of play in that cornhole tournament. So if you haven't ever checked it out and you are into cornhole, or even if you think you might be, sometime when you're bored, you want to kill some time or you want to put something on the background, it works really good for that kind of thing. I think we did like a 4.5 hour stream in our last, we streamed the whole tournament live.
Yeah, and I'm specifically talking about like watching it, right? Because make no mistake, if you went and watched like Jared or like some of the people I play with that we play with in the Pro-Am tournament, like there are guys who play overseas. There are guys who play D1 ball. Like you would be like, oh wow, like you'd see some moments that you'd be surprised by. But I'm just, when you're used to watching the NBA like on a screen, it doesn't translate as well, in my opinion. Brian's got a question. And I don't know if you can weigh in on this one, Casey. What do you think about Will Lutz getting traded to the Denver Broncos for a 7th round pick, going back to New Orleans Saints, in your honest opinion? So full disclosure, Casey would have been dishonest about this for sure. But since you said in his honest opinion, he'll give you his honest opinion.
Yeah, I was going to lie.
His default is to go with his dishonest opinion.
Yeah, because that's just what I don't know. I'm going to throw that character away. I don't know. I was some like evil villain for a second there. I can't really pull that off. Anyway, Will Lutz.
And me.
What's that?
Said you're just going to kill the baby there? You're going to no and me?
Yeah, no. Sorry about it. Sorry about all the babies, newborn babies. I am a baby killer. I guess now I could pull off that evil villain character. Okay, I'm not gonna say that again.
Will Lutz, Broncos. We're going off.
Will Lutz, talented kicker, long long tenure with the Saints, mostly under Sean Payton, the head coach, who is now, of course, with the Denver Broncos. He's there to fix that whole situation, fix up Russ's career, bring him back to Hall of Fame status. Will Lutz, the kicker, rejoins his former head coach there in the Broncos. What does that mean? Well, it's a great kicking stadium because it's thin air, so they can kick further. Probably a decent situation. We're talking about fantasy today. We don't do kickers in our fantasy mock drafts just because.
Are there
totally honest,
that
guys,
do kickers?
Oh yeah. Standard.
Whoa.
John benefits from being in good fantasy leagues that I've set up. I removed defense and kicker because we don't want that garbage in our fantasy sports.
We've had defense
because it's just done. I prefer. I'm gonna save myself from going down a rabbit hole, but I will just say I prefer individual players in fantasy football, which is a very different thing than the team defense system. I think it's a little weird, and kickers are even weirder. But most leagues have them. I would say Will Lutz is a decent kicker to draft now because of that thin air and because the offense is probably not going to turn around overnight. They were pretty bad, but a good kicker with a big leg could convert some long field goals if they stall out on drives regularly, which they probably will. And those longer field goals in most leagues are worth quite a bit more than the short ones. So he'll get a lot of shots and he'll probably make a good amount of them. So yeah, draft him. Top 5 kicker, let's say. There you go. My kicker rankings. Dude, that's publishing my kicker rankings next week, you guys.
That video's viral for sure. I think that's what everybody wants. There's nobody in that video. Yeah. Okay, so I got one for you since we're talking about the Broncos, talking about Sean Payton, talking about Russ. First game of the season, Russ goes out, first snap, breaks his femur. But I don't want this to happen to him. But breaks his femur, has some other kind of season-ending injury.
Who's the evil villain now?
Doesn't come back from it this season, and then also just doesn't come back from it. Period. He's done playing. Is he a Hall of?
I don't know, man. That's for not me to decide. I'm glad I don't have to.
I mean, in your opinion,
coin flip it, but honestly, probably not. Probably not. That might sound like a spicy take, but
same question 1 year ago. Same question 1 year ago.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't think anybody. So I think it's said on the pod before. It's like, oh, he's already a Hall of Famer. It's not like he's going to play himself about not Russ, but somebody else. And he played so bad that he played himself out of the Hall of Fame. He would have been better off not playing.
He hurt his resume big time. And I think it's hard to predict. Nobody predicted his career to end really at the before last year. But you expected easily the trajectory he was on. He just had to kind of accumulate some more volume, But now I think he actually has to recover some performance, and especially has to end on a little bit better note. Your last season that people see, people forget, you don't just decide should this guy be in the Hall of Fame? Yes or no. You have to decide against other players. And there are always players that people feel like get snubbed. So the real question is, when you look at the perennial snub list, the guys who, you thought should have made it, but didn't, are you going to put Russell Wilson in over those guys? And the answer is probably no, because you'll have that in your back pocket. But he looks so bad. Oh, it's different players every year. It's different players every year, but it'll be guys who didn't get in on the first ballot. Not most players who get in are not first ballot Hall of Famers. They second, third, like John Lynch. He's the general manager of the 49ers now. You probably remember him from the fearsome Tampa 2 defense around the turn of the century there, around 2000, right around there. Super well-known guy. He on one of the best defenses the league's ever seen. And I think it was his third ballot that he made it in on, which that's getting close to bro, you might not make it. Bro, you might not make it.
Do you know of anybody who's second or third right now that is they should make it over Russ for sure?
I don't really, to be honest with you, because that's just so I don't care. I don't. Right. That's not the Hall isn't something I super care about. If I did, then I would. But no, nobody jumps.
Hannah remembers. Hannah remembers. They whipped the Raiders in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, who's that? Oh, the Hawks.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, they did. Yeah, I didn't like it either, though. Not a Seahawks fan, but I think they're gonna be okay this year. Weird that they got better without Russ, it seems like. But what else we got here? Oh, the Cooper Kupp injury. Hannah wants to know, how does Cooper Kupp's injury affect how you draft him? They can be very lingering. Yeah, we are going to actually talk a little bit about fantasy drafts. This is probably the one piece of news I probably should have touched on. There is a Cooper Kupp, like there's some new notes about the injury. I think it's more like just details have kind of come out. It's kind of been this lingering type of injury. He's one of those guys at his best. He could finish as the wide receiver 1. So where do we draft him now that we don't know his availability exactly? And his quarterback's also super injury prone. I think this definitely bumps him down, like probably a round or two at least. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I personally hadn't grabbed him really that much anyway, because there's a lot of other receivers I still like there. I'm in on some other guys over him, like Tyreek Hill. I would probably take over him anyway, even if they're both healthy, just for the explosiveness and the week winning ability.
Like who are the other, like, so that was the comps before he was in that Tyreek Hill tier. What tier do you have him in? Like, who are the comps now?
Now he's probably falling down into like where the NFL wide receiver 2s kind of come into play, with like instead of being up there with Jamar Chase, one of the best receivers in the league from the Cincinnati Bengals, now he's probably floating around somewhere around T. Higgins, who's actually the second best receiver on Cincinnati, arguably the best second wide receiver in the league. But you basically have to treat Kupp like, oh, he might not get like the most targets on his team anymore now, just based off of availability. So it makes sense you draft him as a super high end wide receiver 2.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right. What else we got here? Same injury, Hannah says. Really? This year, right now?
I'm not sure if I've seen.
Or is that in the past?
I know that he's had some stuff in the past. That might be current too. There's definitely some injury news coming out. It feels like they shouldn't be getting injured this close to the regular season, but it still happens year to year. And that Broncos wide receiving core has just been decimated. I know Tim Patrick went down early compared to now. A few weeks ago, he went down. I think he's missing the whole season. He's one of the receivers out of that room. I think Jerry Jeudy, he had some kind of lingering thing. It's similar to the Cooper Kupp thing. I didn't know it was the exact same injury, Hannah, but yeah, it's been the same situation where it's like you tentatively draft him where he kind of belongs, but do you trust that guy's going to finish where he belongs, because he might not even play an entire season? So it's tough to draft a guy coming into the season not 100%, because so often the NFL season is brutal. So what are the odds he can actually like recover past where he started? I mean, if you start the season only at 80%, that you're probably not ever getting above 80%. So
yeah. So go receiver Jerry is currently but good news ahead for his availability. Starts in on the short-term IR, and he is inactive for week 1. Though I feel like they kind of hold those out until pretty close. There should be like a requirement.
Yeah, he made the 53 for sure. I think he avoided being put on the PUP, which is the list that they would put him on if they know he's going to miss the first 4 weeks of the season. So I think he's on this like preseason IR stuff. I don't think they'll have to designate him to return and waste one of those like
he's not on short-term IR. Yeah,
right. So whether or not he misses week 1 or not, like this, they know he's not going to miss 4 weeks. So again, it's similar to Cooper Kupp. It's just like I would probably just bump him a round or 2, really. But if he's a guy you really like, just know that like it only takes one manager to set a value on a player. And if somebody takes him at ADP at average draft position, then you missed your chance at him. But there's probably better options or more secure options. At least
He could be if it drops him in their draft boards, right? He could end up being a really high value pick, for sure. But yeah, So Brian, here's another one. What do you think about Michael Thomas, top 10 receiver in the NFL? I'm assuming there was a question mark there.
Yeah, this one pretty straightforward. Michael Thomas has probably been supplanted as the number 1 receiver on his team by Chris Olave. He was a young rookie last year who showed out last year. Wide receiver is probably the most common position in the NFL where sophomores take a massive leap forward. Thomas has missed a lot of time since he was back in that like number 1 overall wide receiver territory. It's been like 3 or 4 years at least since then. So yeah, Michael Thomas is pretty past his prime here. The real value on Thomas is the fact that he'll get drafted pretty late, and you might get yourself a little bit of a sleeper, what we call like a post-hype sleeper, because he's been so disappointing after being so incredible for a couple seasons. So you might be able to get him in something like the 9th, 10th round of your fantasy draft, and there he might be valuable, but he is not going to finish as a top 10 receiver in the NFL in all likelihood. Probably more like top 40 is how we should look at him. Maybe top 30. If he hits top 25, I'd be surprised. To be totally honest. That'd be pretty high for his opportunities.
I mean, this is big time speculation. Do you think Bryce Young will be a Hall of Famer if he stays healthy? I don't know. I have no opinion here. That's a rookie. Like, I don't know.
Hall of Fame, again, like Hall of Fame to me doesn't matter so much because it's about career accolades, right? It's not even just about statistics. It's largely impacted by it, but it's a lot of like, how many Super Bowls did you win? And that stuff is, I don't care what anybody says, that's largely out of your hands. You can't take the worst roster in the NFL and go win Super Bowls, no matter how good you are as a quarterback. So, and I'm not saying they have the worst roster. I'm just saying it's more about opportunity and like the quality of opportunities than it is who you are just as a player. You know, even though we like to think of the Hall as, oh, it's just the best players. That's why I don't really care that much about it.
No,
it's kind of it's just a little ego fest, which is well deserved, but like I don't think it's all that valid at the end of the day and who the best players are, especially like who the best like fantasy players are.
Yeah.
Which is the most fun way to look at football.
This is a good question. We didn't cover this today. Weird for us. How many likes do we get a wheel spin? Every 10 likes on the video, we're doing $25 gift cards giveaways today. So get the likes up. I think we're at 7 right now. That's what I got. All right, let's do some fantasy. We got Final Fantasy mock draft.
Let's go. Final Fantasy.
Yeah. We got a
Video Game Nerds Unite
fantasy mock draft, but with a wrinkle. Brian just says, who is your sleep? Jeremy. I don't know. I don't understand the question, so I'm just saying a name.
My sleep is Serta.
Your sleep is Serta. Casey knows.
Actually, my brand is Ghost Bed, but yeah.
I have a purple mattress.
Free sleeper, Devon A-Chain, go get him. Miami running back. Should get him super late. Jeff Wilson's on the IR. Raheem Mostert's going to get hurt. We all know that. So, yeah, Miami running back. Little undersized, but real fast. Should be explosive.
He's real fast. He's so fast. He makes other fast people look not fast. All right, let's do a thing. You have a thing?
I have a thing. I think people are going to like this visual. I am enjoying looking at it.
We both have things, but you have a fantasy thing.
My thing is bigger.
Your thing's definitely bigger than my thing.
Hold on. Let me make it a little bigger. There, now it's huge.
Now it's even bigger. Now it's huge.
Oh, it's pretty good on command, huh? Yeah, anyway, so we have this, you might notice on this wheel are the 32 teams from the NFL. They're spinning around there. It's very mesmerizing. It was on my screen over here for the last 5 minutes or so, and I've been half like, just it's sucks you in when you're looking at a spinning wheel. We're gonna spin this wheel. We're doing a mock draft today, the last mock draft, the final fantasy mock draft, as John said. And every time it's our turn to make a pick, we're going to spin this wheel, and we have to take a player from the team that the spinner lands on. I've never done anything like this before. I highly doubt John has, and it's going to get interesting for sure. How interesting? Who's to say? Our teams, how are they going to look afterwards?
Not good.
Probably not great.
Yeah,
but this
can
is
be
all
good.
Feel better, guys. This is like the last week of fantasy drafting. We all love fantasy football, and we're doing our fantasy drafts now. I don't want you guys to come away from your drafts thinking like, oh man, it feels like my team could have been better. I want you to be able to watch this video and think, oh no, my team's way better than that, and show you that it'll be okay. You could make decisions based in the worst possible way. Like, I'm going to decide on the team before anything else. That's not a good way to do it. But you can still maybe work it out. We're going to test that theory today. Remember this piece of advice. You don't lose. You can't win your fantasy leagues on draft day, but you could potentially lose them if you have a bad enough draft. So with that said, I think, John, do you have here, I'll go ahead and I'll share the other screen as well here. We're going to share this over.
Yeah, I see we got some people kind of trickling in here. Reminder, every 10 likes on the video, we do a gift card giveaway for NFL swag or NFL memorabilia. So get the likes up on the video. I see 9 right now. And then we do the giveaway. The way you get in on the giveaway is there's a link in our description to our private viewing channel. So that's playback.tv/triplecross. If you go there, you can watch the show there, and everybody there is entered to give away. So we're getting close. We're at 9 likes, but we're going to do this first.
So we're going to do our usual format we've been doing in our mock drafts here. Kind of crazy if you haven't seen it before. It's basically a super flex league. We're just gonna go through this draft: 1 quarterback, 2 RBs, 4 wide receiver, tight ends, 1 regular flex spot, receiver, running back, tight end, 1 super flex spot, which is the same thing, but you can also play a quarterback there. And we have 3 bench spots. This should go still fairly quick, I think. We always get surprised by how fast they go. That's why we ate up some time at the beginning of this. John, do you want to say some like magic words to like start this off?
Please and thank you.
Wow.
What are you talking about?
Look at that. Oh, little glitch there. Yeah, please and thank you. Did it. That was wonderful.
Look at that. Okay, so
All
are
right,
you
random
who's
order?
up? Oh, we got a
John,
10
looks
team.
like-
Dude, this is
No, it's 8 team. It's 8
8
teams.
teams.
We did
Dude, we're
choose
gonna
to
get
make it a
deep.
little easier on ourselves. We're gonna get a little deep. John, we're gonna see how crazy it gets because it might for sure. John, it looks like you are team number. Oh no, you're not. Team 1. Oh, mock
Team
draft
one's on
starts
the
in
clock?
5 seconds. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Team mock draft starts in 3 seconds. That's weird because the last time we did this, it definitely just went like crazy right out of the gate.
All right, man. You're on the clock.
Jefferson and Mahomes go first. I'll try to leave it here as much as possible so you guys can see what's happening. Maybe a couple of zooms.
Well, you
Should
have
have
to
plenty of
switch over to the
time.
wheel.
That's a good point. I have to switch the wheel. I did leave ourselves plenty of time for these picks. So let me switch my tab over. Here we go. All right. First thing, I guess it's fitting that I get to go first. These should be easy at the beginning, though. Should be easy. We're taking the best player off these teams, basically.
Yeah.
Man, I hope I don't get screwed by this, but let's just bite the bullet. Here we go. First spin. I have to draft with my first round pick a player from. Oh my God. Okay. You can't write this stuff. You can't write this stuff at all. San Francisco 49ers, the one.
Who would you have drafted in this position anyway?
Let's go. 49ers hat. It was right on my desk. Okay, so I have to draft from the San Francisco 49ers. I don't remember. Did McCaffrey go? No. So,
No.
I mean, yeah, this was the obvious choice. He would have been who I picked here anyway. This is crazy. I mean, I might have flirted with the idea of Chase, but nah. This got way too easy for me. Share this tab. I'm going to lock it in. Christian Darius McCaffrey.
Darius is
Made up
middle
that
name, huh? Nice.
Nope. I have no idea. I mean, it might be.
I figured.
I didn't name
him.
him.
It could be Darius. There's a 0% chance for sure. All right, John goes next, and now I need a team from which draft?
Yep, Justin Jefferson, Patrick Mahomes, Christian McCaffrey, then Josh Allen comes off the board after my Christian McCaffrey pick. John's up in the 5 spot in this 8-team draft, just to make it a little easier on us. And John, let me pull up that wheel for you. I forgot that that's my job. And let's do a spin-a-rooney. John's first round pick is going to come from this NFL squad. Okay.
God.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, you got the
right,
Niners.
I think I got a little. Okay.
I got to burn the
Got a little
5th
bit of a
overall
break.
pick on somebody from the Bucks.
Man. Okay. Well, let's help him out. Let's kind of scroll through here. We'll be looking for TB. This is obviously just kind of a generic list, but it's going to help us out a little bit. John, you know, this thing is going to zig and zag all over the place. I definitely got lucky in the first round. I mean, I expected this to happen to both of us to some degree. I feel like we got 2 ends of the stick. Okay. This is the first guy that pops up. He's number 51 on this list. I guess 55 technically. Overall. I don't know, John. I don't know if you're a Chris Godwin fan or not, but I actually do think that's probably about as good as it's going to get, right? I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. Unless, well, you really, you gotta take the best ones you can get. I was going to say maybe just do a waste pick almost, like take a Baker or something, but you can't here. You got to get the guys while you can. We have no idea what's going to come at us. Chris Godwin's a guy you can start in your lineup. Absolutely. It's a good wide receiver. Probably best fits is like a wide receiver 2 on your team. It'd be nice to have one guy better than him, but if he was your best one, I've had teams where he's my best receiver.
And There's no running backs. I usually like to take a running back first. The running back room's awful. Yeah. It's probably Chris Godwin. This is my only real option here. Geez, where is he? I had to scroll like 5 times to find this man. There he is. All right, drafting Chris Godwin from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was rough. It was a rough time, people.
All right. I'm letting the playback audience know they might need to help us out with some of the picks. YouTube, feel free to chime in too. We have to watch both of the chats. Again, link in the description to join us on Playback. We'll be doing a spin, at least one spin after the show. If we get enough likes on the video, we will we'll do multiple spins. So make sure you like the video. You can join us on Playback. The show is streaming there as well. And you can chime in on who you think we should draft once we know which team we have to draft from. John, it's that time again. Let's find out which team you have to draft from next. And hey, here's the good news. As long as it's not the Bucks again, it's an upgrade, I think.
And the other is it can't get too much worse than the Bucks. I mean, it can definitely get worse, but not too much worse.
Well, hold on. Who's still there?
Yeah.
Is Henry there? Is Henry available still, or did he go?
No, he's still. Yeah, he hasn't gone.
I don't know if everybody's getting a little audio snafu from John. If you guys are, please let us know in the chat. If not, let us know in the chat too, because I'm not going to repeat everything he says just for no reason. But just in case you guys aren't hearing him, let us know. Yeah, John, sorry, go ahead, take it. Tennessee Titans is the team. It's your floor, man.
The deed is done.
Derrick Henry, you're a fan of Derrick Henry anyway, though, right? I mean, I think in general, at least. You got the RB you wanted. He's a real RB1. Like, you almost didn't get one. Like, that almost happened. If you don't get one in at least that pick, maybe your next one, you're not getting a real RB1. So you got one of the good ones, one of the fine ones, at least.
I mean, he'll miss some games for sure.
I mean, hey, you never know. Crazier things have happened. He could finish the whole season. You never know. He usually gets better as the season goes on, too. So he ages like a fine wine. With that said, let's keep this thing moving. I'm going to spin the wheel. We can just talk through it. I don't have to make it a big deal every time. I'll just come over here and spin the wheel now. We made theatrics about it. Oh, my God. Oh,
come on. God. Oh, man.
I mean, if it would have landed on the Bucks, I guess there's still an okay spot there. But I have to pick from the Pittsburgh Steelers now. Wow. Okay.
I mean, that's not
so
great
I'm thinking it's got to be there's one guy who jumps out. It's got to be Najee Harris if he's still here. I mean, I assume he is too. Mm-hmm. So don't know exactly. There he is here. Pitt. He is the first Steeler who pops up. And that does make me go RB in a situation where I don't get to control which teams I'm drafting from. Oh, I didn't share this tab. Sorry, guys. In the situation where I don't actually know which team I'm going to be drafting from next, this is scary to start with 2 RBs because I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to take a good receiver.
I mean, Deontay Johnson would probably be your best wide receiver option, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. But again, at this point, like, I have to kind of just take the best player available because these players are not going to stay here no matter who we have to draft from. We do have 6 other teams eating up these players, albeit rather slowly. So that is going to be my pick. I am going to, dang, where was he on this? Jeez, there he is. They got him at 42 here. I think Najee's been given a little bit of a bad rap this offseason. Anyway, I think he's one of those guys I would say is likely, or I would call at least likely to outplay his projections this season, just based on the volume he gets in this offense.
Bijan Mustard goes next, and then Saquon. Now you're back up.
Back up, spinning the wheel again. Yeah, this is already shaping up to be interesting. I don't hate my team.
Really? I kind of hate mine already. Hey, actually,
it's a long draft.
I would have liked to get that spin.
I've gotten fairly overall really lucky still. The first spin, so good.
Yeah.
LA Chargers is next. Who am I going to take?
This is a super flex league, right?
Yeah, it is. So that makes it pretty. I mean, hold on. Do I have? There is also. This might be. We have a lot of receiver spots to fill up. And this could be a.
But there's only a handful of great quarterbacks you know.
Yeah. So I mean, they're right around each other here in the rankings, and that's true. Again, we do have a lot of receivers to fill up, but yeah, why not? Let me just check and see here. As far as quarterbacks go, it is nice to get one of these guys. I actually agree sort of with where they have this tier break. There's already a whole tier that's gone as well, and some of the guys from this tier. So I am going to take Justin Herbert here. That's my pick. So 2 RBs and a quarterback to start this super flex draft where we have to fill a ton of these flex spots are basically all receiver spots. So I'm going to be trying to draft as many receivers as I can from here on out. So John's back on the clock. Chris Godwin.
I feel
Derrick
like this thing is like, yeah, you can spin the wheel for me, but I feel like Draft Wizard's like, what are you got? Like, if it had a voice, it would be like, what? I'm telling you the picks. Like, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Did you pick? You pick? Who did I pick? You picked Chris Godwin with your first overall pick. Okay, well, damn. Okay.
Ravens. Is Lamar gone?
Yeah,
Lamar is gone too. That's a tough one, bro.
Yeah,
that's a tough one.
They basically have nobody else.
I mean,
Mark Andrews is injured currently. I actually carried Mark Andrews last year, and he was solid for me.
Yeah. I think I'm not 100% sure on that situation, but I think it's similar to like the Cup kind of thing. These rosters don't require that we draft a tight end, but he's still probably the most valuable guy there.
Probably better than any of their receivers.
The only other guy that comes to mind is J.K. Dobbins at running back, but probably Mark Andrews is a better fit.
I mean, J.K. Dobbins isn't first string running back. Lamar Jackson is.
That's true. So I mean, I think you are pretty. This has actually been easier than I thought to like figure out which player you want to take.
There's so far there's like only one good option, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna get more difficult, I think. Just to decide between that, as we have to fill up spots that.
I mean, my team is trash. But
bro, don't say that about your team. You don't say that.
I know they can know. They can know. I'm like the manager. Know. I'm like the manager in that movie Major League. I'm just like, I want them to lose so I can sell the team.
There you go. Hey, that's not bad.
So maybe they can prove me wrong. I don't know. Garrett Wilson goes, and I'm back on the clock.
I would be praying for Jaguars spin here so you could grab that T-Law just chilling, but that's not going to happen for you.
Oh my gosh. Freaking A. Broncos.
The DBs, baby.
Someone from the Broncos.
Man, I'll scroll here. I mean, hey, there's your guy right there. You needed a quarterback.
Yeah,
I was just looking at
take a flyer on Russ, but I feel like I could get somebody.
I think you can. I
later
think.
I feel like somebody of that caliber somewhere. You know what I mean?
Again, their
unless I keep getting spins like I'm getting.
Their receiving room is so banged up. I think honestly, a running back here is all that stands out in Javonte Williams. I mean, he's steadily down. I mean, he's available for sure. Right, oh boy, 89 is Javonte Williams on this list. I'm just doing Cortland Sutton right behind him. You got to okay. I will say this: Cortland Sutton is kind of the last man standing in this receiving room. He's coming off of a down season, but I mean, Sean Payton is there. The offense could turn around, and Sutton should get a lot of opportunities now that two other guys in that receiving room are potentially hurt for a significant amount of time. So I think you're actually this is one of the first ones where it's a pretty tough decision which way you want to go based on position. And I think even Russ, I mean, how far down could he be in this overall list?
He's 67.
Oh, he was already up there?
Nah, I'm not doing any of that. I believe in Jerry.
He was. Wow. So you could have gone 3 different Jerry Jeudy.
I could have gone 3 different ways, and I chose none.
You could have gone 4. You could have gone 4. Yeah. You could have gone. Nice. Okay.
All
wow.
Right, you're up.
John's team. John taking that Jerry Jeudy. Juicy Jerry Jeudy.
Juicy.
Johannesburg. There we go. Okay. Back to me. Share the tab. You guys like to watch the spins. Mike says we hit 10 likes. That's awesome. We will that'll be a spin after the show.
No, come on.
Did this just happen? Is Debo available? Is Debo gone?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. In case he got the Niners again for the audio listeners.
Debo is available.
So yeah, dude, there's all kinds of guys that you would want here. Brandon Ayuk is available. I mean, you could.
Yeah.
He's not high, but yeah.
Ayuk.
Debo's probably a good grab right here.
Yeah, Debo would be a good grab in my mind here. I mean, some joker drafted Jerry Jeudy this round, so like I'm thinking that's pretty good.
No, yeah.
Nah. You can only do what the wheel allows you to do.
He is the highest San Francisco player, I think. So
yeah, no, that makes sense. And I, personally, this actually is not like a beautiful stack to have with him and CMC. They both can't have phenomenal weeks in the same week. So in some ways, it limits your upside. But I mean, I'm gonna get.
You're talking about having an actual fantasy strategy here, like
kind of.
I mean, my team is whoever the best guy is from this. I mean, crappy team.
I'm not gonna lie to you, John. Based on this being an 8-man draft, this team is actually. This is a better start to a lot of drafts that I have. I mean, I like these 4 players a lot. You usually cannot have these 4 players on the same team.
Well, you had to overdraft somebody for sure. Who did you have to overdraft? You wouldn't have drafted like this if you were free. For sure.
Harris technically would be an overdraft, like according to ADP, but I would still consider him there. I would have taken a guy like Saquon or Bijan over him for sure, or Nick Chubb even. Josh Jacobs probably, but I would have him like the Tony Pollard here. So that's the overdraft. If there is one, I guess. Justin Herbert, not an overdraft. Debo, maybe it's a slight overdraft.
You probably wouldn't have grabbed him if you were free to grab anybody.
No, that's safe, especially with CMC already on the squad. So, oh wow, I was pointing at a lot of stuff on the screen. You guys couldn't see any of it. That's me. That's on me. I'll get better.
It's hard.
Okay. Yeah, it is hard.
Your thing's hard.
It is. It's tough, but I'm gonna keep it going here. Switch this one back up. Hey, I'm actually hoping for once that it doesn't land on San Francisco.
Yeah, you don't need any more Niners now.
I mean,
you got your Niners stack.
How can I be mad about it?
Oh my Bengals! You get the Bengals. Come on! What is this?
Cincinnati Bengals.
Now I understand the people who don't ever win the wheel spins. I understand them now. Like when people sit there and watch Adam win and like Andrew win all the time. I get it. This is like, did you guys rig this? What's going on here?
I got a little bit of that on my face though, because I did not realize T. Higgins was gone here, and that's who I was hoping for here.
Still, you've got Joe Mixon available, dude.
I have 2 running backs already. I mean, I can't just keep taking running backs.
You can't flex him? I mean, what are you going to do?
I can flex, but that's my last flex spot. And we do have 3 bench spots just so that we could deal with some of this stuff. So that might have to be what I do, because obviously Joe Burrow is long gone at this point. Oh, well, again.
Yeah,
boom.
you gotta.
Joe Burrow is long gone at this time.
You just shop a trade for either Najee Harris or Joe Mixon.
Well, I mean, we're not trading on these teams, but yeah, T. Higgins went literally I don't know if I said that. T. Higgins went the pick before this one. So I just missed out on him. I mean, that would have been an incredible draft. I would have had a better fantasy team here than I have anywhere in real life at this point. So this one does kind of hurt a little bit, but Joe Mixon is a good value still. Yeah, it's Mixon. It always is going to be.
You keep getting like top 10 available players at least, like so far, other than Najee Harris.
I'm going to be honest with you, John. I tapped into the source code and I tinkered with it, and I messed with the Wheel of Names wheel spinner, and I made it so that I always get good spins and you always get bad spins. And I also programmed it to know what would be good spins and bad spins.
That's impressive, honestly. I'm not even mad.
I mean, John,
Falcons.
It's not that I'm just getting like top 10 players. I'm getting like top 10 teams over and over again.
I know.
And I'm sorry to say, you keep getting these like bottom 10 teams.
10. Yeah.
We're not hitting the middle. We're not hitting the meat of the sandwich much at all.
No.
This is like all the best teams in the league and the worst teams in the league.
I keep getting like the soggy, gross bread. You're getting like the nice, pristine, like crisp bread. Who's even available from the Falcons?
Tale of 2 drafts here.
Drake London. I don't even know who that guy is.
That's a solid pick. Yeah, because he's on the Falcons, but he's actually a good receiver, and he's actually a pretty good value here. He is probably he's the he's like the 6th,
well, I'm not gonna overtake him.
You really can't at this point. It's that. I mean, Kyle Pitts
It's hot
is
trash.
the only other
It's just
thought
how
at
it
all.
goes.
Yeah, you got to just roll with the punches. I like it. Let's go back to this wheel, John. I'm hoping for a good one here.
You know what really hurts
Maybe
is
you can get a
watching
niner.
like. You know what really
Oh.
hurts is watching all of the players that go after. Oh my gosh. Watching all the players that go after you draft the person you don't want. So I've got the Broncos again. Dude, at this point, I might just have to take Russ. I mean, no, I bet all those same guys are still available. So that same decision tree is going on, basically.
Oh wow, it pretty much is, huh? Did anybody go since?
I
Where was it?
don't think any Broncos went anywhere. Nope, Russ is right there.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong team. Nice. Yeah, no other Broncos have gone since then. So all those guys.
I've got Jerry Jeudy.
I think you got to go.
So maybe I do a Bronco receiver stack. That actually, I don't hate that idea.
I mean, Cortland Sutton would round it out here. You would have 4 receivers. Oh no, you already have 4 because tight ends count. So you're sitting at 1 running back. So you have 4 receivers already. I mean, you could, but those are going to be the ones available still. You should probably grab one of these, like either a running back or a quarterback, because I think you still have Javonte as an option. I mean, when I go to running backs, he's down here a ways, so he's going to be around. If you land for the 3rd time you land on the Broncos, you can go back to hit him. And then Russ is down here a ways too. I mean, let's look at where Cortland Sutton is.
None of these are good options.
None of these are good options for here, at least. Cortland Sutton down there a ways. So, I mean, you got your pick of pretty bad choices, but they're all equally pretty bad choices.
All right. Well, so I'm not locked into Russ as my only quarterback.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So I guess like take the
same is true with Javonte if you went that way, but yeah, you do kind of have to have an emergency stash at quarterback, I guess.
Yeah, I might continue to land on teams that have trash quarterbacks. Like Russ might be the best option.
What if you just keep ping-ponging between the Falcons and the Broncos for the rest of the draft, John? Right. I mean, this is ridiculous. You had the
Ravens after the quarterback's gone.
By far the only decent. I mean, you could argue Tennessee's okay. We don't know everything about all these teams, but I mean, the Ravens were your shot at a good player, and Lamar Jackson was already gone. So that's brutal.
Yeah.
All right, Russ. Then Deshaun Watson goes, hey, you got a quarterback. Looks like maybe a little run's going to happen. Let's see who I have to draft from now. I mean, I'm not going to outright say that I've won the draft already.
I mean, you beat me.
That's not what this is about. Oh, my gosh. I mean, I just keep landing on bangers. But is there anybody left? Is there anyone left from this team? I think this team might be pretty well plucked at this point, man.
Yeah, they might be tapped. So that's good.
But it is incredible. I keep landing on just talented teams. I mean, I want to see how long I can do that.
So I bet that starts happening to me now. Like I bet now that this Bengals are tapped, maybe I get the Bengals.
Well, I was just thinking, I was like, man, I hope you get a 49er. Then I was like, oh man, I don't think you want one anymore.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, Ayuk still. Anyway, we didn't land on 49er.
Still there?
I think I think he is. Yeah. Anyway, I gotta find. Which team was I looking for?
You're looking for the
Bengals. Lots going on. All right, Sin City, baby. Oh, did I start at the top? There we go. Thought that Chicago was a Cincinnati there for a second. Got a little bit excited. I'm gonna be honest with you. A Min instead of a Sin. That's another little torture. Oh boy, this is gonna be the first one that hurts a little for me for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
this team's tough. You're gonna have to get somebody who isn't really even doesn't even see the field very much. Tyler Boyd is your first. Tyler Boyd at 136.
That makes sense. I mean, he's the wide receiver 3 off of this team. I don't even know who the running back 2 is anymore because P. Ryan moved in the offseason. Joe Burrow's gone. I mean, this team is pretty well plucked. Who's their tight end? He might be better than Boyd at this point. That'd be the only other thing I could even think to entertain. But honestly, Boyd's not that. Irv Smith. I mean, let's do an actual click on this real quick. Just real quick. They have him at 108 points. Tyler Boyd, that guy is old, John. There's no other way to say it, you know. There's no other way to say it. He's past
hey man,
prime.
I drafted I drafted now I can't remember his name. Also an old receiver. He used to play for the Vikings last year.
Oh, thanks, Fantasy Pros. There was nearly 100% chance that Tyler Boyd would have been available 2 rounds from now.
Yeah,
Nearly 100.
I can't believe I haven't gotten that notification yet.
He would have been, Fantasy Pros. Yeah. Like, quit making fun of my draft.
I'm over here picking like freaking Jerry Jeudy in the 4th round. Like, how did I not get that notification?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Oh gosh,
Chris Godwin with my first pick. Oh, there we go.
The Falcons.
Now you get to feel the Falcons' pain.
Yeah, but I get to feel it in the 7th round, so I'm lucky in that way.
That's better. I mean, it's definitely
someone might actually be a value around here. I mean, I think like Ritter is obviously going to be available still. I think that might be where I go, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, with your team, that you might just take a flyer. Do you even have a quarterback yet? Oh yeah, you do. You have Herbie.
I do. A receiver is still probably the smart move here for me. In ATL, you took Drake London. Hey, you kept Drake London for me. I could go pick up Kyle Pitts here right now. I don't hate that, actually. Let me look, because Desmond Ritter is going to be down here a ways, man. I'm not excited to have Ritter on the squad. But Kyle Pitts?
Desmond Ritter is 131.
I can get behind Kyle. Kyle Pitts is in this league, in this format, plays the same position as Tyler Boyd, and he's projected to get more points than Tyler Boyd. I agree with that. So I'm actually pretty stoked about this pick. I think he actually is a starter for me, whereas Tyler Boyd will be on the bench. We have 3 bench spots, 3 bench. So keep that in mind as we move around here. But,
you got the notification again that there was a 100% chance he would have been around still.
Yeah. Well, it happens.
All right. Will you spin me like the Jets, please?
Johnny wants the Jets. Give Johnny a jet. Johnny wants a new jet. How about a Texan? Can I interest you in a Houston Texan?
You would not be able to interest me in a Texan, but I guess that's what I'm doing.
Yikes, man. I mean, you just are on a crazy run of bottom 10 teams. Oops.
Yeah.
Hit the wrong button, y'all. Hit the wrong button.
All right, so I need a Damian Pierce, and I need a running back, so.
Oh, Pierce is available? That's a hell of a pick, then. Yeah, you needed him? That's great, actually. That's your best pick of the draft. By a mile. He actually belongs.
Yeah, or Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry. Nah, Derrick Henry in the 2nd round is too early.
No. You wouldn't. Well, let's see. Yeah, I guess in this, just because it's 8 team, he would have been. You might not have been able to get him in the 3rd. Honestly, he goes.
I might not have, but Najee Harris, Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs, Travis Kelce.
Yeah, it's tough.
I would have taken Saquon. I would have taken Saquon over Derrick Henry, I think.
For sure. But as long as you're taking a guy who wouldn't make it back to you in the next round, it's tough to argue with it. It's not a bad pick, at least, And he would have arguably not, because he goes usually right before Chubb, right around Chubb. So, all right, where am I at? Sorry.
You got to give me a team. Yeah, you got to give me a team.
There we go. Yeah, everything relies on here. I gotta stay on my stuff. You gotta keep reminding me. You never know what I'm gonna do next. Forgot to drink water this entire episode so far. Hey, your guy. You take him in every single draft, and I feel like he's got to be the thing now.
Dude, Saquon's
obviously gone.
He's got to be available.
Saquon's got to be gone. I mean, Darren Waller is available. He's a solid option. And this projected 180 points. If you need a receiver, Waller's a great one. And Danny Dimes is
so I have a super flex. I have like a flex. So what?
Oh, Dan Jones is gone. Sorry.
Wow. Yeah, he went last round.
Yep. So I mean, this one's
I got to pick a Darren Waller.
I think
that's 2 tight ends.
Yeah, but it's only the 5th receiver role. You can start all those. And you could even start one more if you don't utilize the super flex spot. So I at least you have all starters. You haven't had to draft a player that is clearly going to be on your bench yet. So
it's possible an 18 league. I don't think anybody's done that, have they?
I did in Tyler Boyd big time. Like the Bengals was a real bad one, honestly. It's because the good teams get eaten up so quick. You end up with table scraps from them. When you actually land on them later in the draft. So now it's kind of like, hopefully you get a bad team a little bit. That New York Giants
get a good player off.
Giants aren't a bad team, but they're not like a top 10 guaranteed team for sure. All right, now I get hit with the Titans. Okay, this draft is turning a little bit for me. It's turning a little bit. Not just
but they're a bad
outrageous.
team after you take Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? They might have somebody.
Nah, they're not a solid option here. I'm gonna be honest with you. Tennessee receivers is Traylon
Oh, you have
Burks.
to take a receiver?
No, but I just can't imagine anybody else is valuable from this garbage fire team.
Yeah, Traylon
Uh,
Burks.
because I mean, like, I'm not interested in Tannehill at QB. Derrick Henry is the only running back of significance, and then what else am I going to do? So Traylon Burks is really the only guy. I don't know completely what his injury situation is here. Return to practice Monday. That's kind of all I need to see, I guess. I mean, I'm not like thrilled about this, but I mean, we need so many receivers. I'm just going to go ahead and lock that one in and let's keep her moving. Hey, I could have waited on him. Weird. All right, back
Crazy.
to the wheel. We go. Shablam. Shablam ding dong. These teams are getting wild. I think when we step back and take a look at the finished roster, we'll have to. Oh man, if I would have landed on the Bengals again, John, I literally don't know who I would have taken.
Oh,
like
that was a close one. That was the
Bears
close one between the Bears and the Browns.
Between the Bears and the Browns. Yeah. So between the Bears and the Browns, let's see. The Bears have some solid players that I'm in on. I actually just did a draft, and I'm not like that in on the Bears, but it just shook out that I took like 3 of their key players, and I also just took their kicker at the end because they have a late bye week. I can deal with that later in the year. And
You got Khalil Herbert.
Khalil Herbert's a solid pick. I mean, I already have 3 running backs. That's a little tough, but we can super flex a 4th one. Khalil Herbert's probably the pick because I'm sure, man, who would be their receiver after DJ Moore? It'd be that one dude, Moody.
Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, Darnell Mooney. I'm not in on that. I mean, it's got to be my guy here, Khalil Herbert, right? Yeah, F it. Draft him. What could happen? What's the worst that could happen, you know? All right, back to the wheel we go.
You're going to be better than me no matter what.
Don't say that yet. You never know.
That's the only thing that really matters here because nice. I get the Bengals.
We're hunting. We're hunting here.
That is hunting. There's nobody left on this team.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Dude, I might like take their backup and hope Joe Burrow gets hurt or something.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and pull up their depth chart real quick just to jog the brain a little here. I mean, yeah, Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, all gone. Irv Smith Jr., tight end, probably
also gone.
Definitely still available, but like probably the best choice. Looks like Chase Brown is listed as the backup at running back. I guess you still have some need for running back for sure. Those are probably the
quarterback.
Jake Browning. I mean,
Irv Smith Jr. is maybe my best bet. Ooh, what do my bye weeks look like? Let's see. I already have 2 other guys who have bye weeks in week 7. And well, I can't from a different team. So I'm going to have another guy who has bye week in week 7.
That's true.
This is awful.
I mean, hey, it's an experiment, John. You didn't know how it was going to go.
This exercise did not make me happy.
I mean, I was happy immediately once I realized I'm getting CMC in the first round.
You got a pretty good team, honestly. Like you only really had a couple picks that you're like, that's not great.
The Tyler Boyd pick is god awful. And the Burks pick I don't like at all. And the Pitts is I'm not strong at receiver. Everywhere else though, like this running back room, McCaffrey, Mixon, Harris, and Herbert. I mean, the obvious alliteration aside, that's a great running back room. Justin Herbert, potentially a top 5 option at quarterback.
Yeah.
I feel okay. Debo at least in the receiver room. It's okay. It's okay.
All right. Here's my Nope, I still don't know.
If we were
Yeah, dude,
playing
and
these
you got
teams
it.
out,
You
then
can
I
you
would
can
be
put
trading.
You can put D at receiver, but he gets touches. So you got a team that gets a lot of touches, which is great, I think.
That's pretty solid for fantasy football for sure. We have 3 rounds left. It looks like here. We have 3 bench spots left, but they aren't necessarily bench spots. I'm hopefully drafting better receivers than Burks and Boyd and moving them both to the bench.
Yeah.
And that's those are the options we have. I actually don't really even need a quarterback and another quarterback because I have all 4. Like my only 2, I have my super flex already filled with a good enough running back, I think here. So I'm pretty much stuck on taking a receiver and just hoping I can get better guys. Oh, sorry. John's up. I should probably look at the grid here. You have your team from the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, I think that you got to go positional need here and just take a body. And yeah, you do have a ton of receivers already. Yeah, you can't even play them all. So dang, that's going to be tough. I think you got to just like take the body at running back. I mean, you're getting an RB2, Chase Brown, I guess. I mean, I've never heard of him, but that's actually like how some people have to draft running back late is like you take the backup and that guy goes down. That's like, and they do a lot. So let's take a little peek see at the cheat sheet here. Maybe if that guy pops up anywhere, that'll give you some more confidence in him. What did I say? Chase Brown. I mean, yeah, you're right. This was an experiment. It's gone a certain direction on you, and you're being a good sport about it. That's the main thing.
Dude,
we're all learning together.
Chase Brown, like, where is he?
Yeah, that's a good question, John. There he is. I found him. He's
what number is he?
Well, he's the 66th running back left. So if you go to cheat sheet, just look at the running backs. Just look at the ones left. He's a 66 overall, actually. So that's better than what I thought. I thought he was the 66th best running back left. I was like, man, that's pretty far down. But he's 66th overall. I mean, that's still not good. But further guys down that list have finished okay in fantasy before.
Yeah, that's true.
For sure. I mean, this is where like Austin Eckler would have been in his like rookie season. Chase Brown's probably a rookie. Let's see what we can learn about this young man. He's projected 61 points on the season. You know, he's got good vision.
Is that the first? Is that the first pick in my snake? Like, do I have to pick again now?
Yeah, no, you get to pick again.
Oh my gosh!
But hopefully, it won't be from the Bengals. Hey, high upside pick if something were to happen to Mixon. So,
all right, give me a spin.
All right, he asked for a spin and he's getting one, folks. Here we go.
I think they just wouldn't give him the ball if something happened to Mixon. You know what I mean? They got too many other options.
Spinning it to win it. The Bears.
Oh, who do we got from the Bears?
Oh man, I had to take one of those a couple rounds ago. I took Khalil Herbert. Let's see, we were talking about Herbert and Mooney. Oh no, you don't need a. Well, what do you need? What are you actually looking like you need here?
Dude, I don't think it matters at this point. I think it's just.
Hey, you were real smart
about
taking Russ when you did. You would not have a quarterback at this point.
Right.
Because you can't take their quarterback either. Justin Fields is gone. I'm glad you took Russ when you did, John. This could have gone even further south. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You already took Khalil Herbert. Jeez.
Okay, you only have 5 receivers, so you could technically flex. You could super flex another receiver. So you still have every position open here. You take the best player available. Mooney probably is. Yeah.
Darnell Mooney. Rashawn Johnson would be the running back.
Yeah.
Foreman
young guy I don't know a ton about. Back. Man, Darnell Mooney by the skin of his teeth. Right below him, you guys can't see it, but there's a show more button. He does make it on the list before the show more, which is
my team is so bad.
It's dookie a little bit, but that's okay. It's
hot trash over here. But
you still got 2 more.
We still got our bench spots.
Well, I think for both of us, there's a chance they're starters. There's a real chance these guys end up being starters because I just need any team where I can just take one of the receivers that are anywhere actually on the board. Yeah. And am I going to get a chance? It's going to be the Rams. Cooper Kupp is I mean, he's obviously gone, but with the injury, some of these guys from the Rams could be
Dude, I would
better.
take a flyer on him for sure, but maybe that's just because my team's so bad.
Oh, he's gone though. He's gone, long gone
Oh.
now. I mean, he was a second round pick still. He's not like hurt, just like going into week 1, not 100% kind of
All
thing.
right, so you have to take from the Rams. Stafford's available.
That is true. Van Jefferson is who came to mind first. I could take Stafford. I guess I do only have Justin Herbert at quarterback.
Stafford's not
But
a bad
he's
super flex.
so we got 125 projection over here. I mean, who's to even say what the scoring like settings are for this? You're right. Stafford is probably the pick here. I don't love it just because if I land somewhere where I guess, yeah, the odds of me landing somewhere where I actually want one of these other quarterbacks is low. So maybe I shouldn't overthink it and just take Stafford.
Yeah, if you got Niners again, you could get Brock, but yeah.
It's just, you know what? No. I need receivers to replace these guys. They're so bad, John. They're not real receivers. Even though Van Jefferson is down this list of ways, I mean,
are they like accountants? Like, what do you mean they're not real receivers?
Well, here's what I mean. Oh, I clicked on Zay Jones. That's the wrong player.
They're programmers.
That's exactly what they programmed the Matrix, and they programmed it so that I would think they're NFL receivers when they're actually not. Van Jefferson, at least according to this, PPR scoring, so that should hold up. 126, let's say, projected. Let's take a look at these guys I had drafted way up here. Tyler Boyd, 153. Okay, so maybe I'm okay, but
you're pretty low on them.
I mean, I'm not high on him. So, but that does tilt me towards Stafford again. Let's take Stafford. Move it along. Next up, back on the wheel page.
I'm up. No, you're up again.
This is still me. Still me. And it's the Colts. Okay. Michael Pittman is here. Michael Pittman is here. Yeah, so that's nice. He's actually near. Oh, here, let me show you. So Michael Pittman is actually a top 5 option left, which is nice.
Yeah.
At receiver,
there you go.
is all I'm looking at. Otherwise, Anthony Richardson would have actually worked great. I would have preferred Richardson over Stafford, but I definitely prefer Stafford and Pittman over what the opposite would have been. So
right.
Richardson and
you like that tandem better.
Van Jefferson. Yeah, so this worked out okay. One more pick left for me coming around, but you're up first to finish us off with your last 2 picks. Let's see what the Wheel of Destiny has in store for John with his last 2 picks. Maybe a Vikings. You know, that'd be cool for you to get Kirk. I think he was still available.
That'd be nice. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Back to where this all began. I mean, this is a cruel cycle. But now
another
there's bound to be a
freaking
guy with a value at this point. There's bound to be a guy who's valuable at this point. Baker would be
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans, if he's there, I mean, that's and
he is.
Mike Evans. So how many receivers do you actually have here? As long as you have 6, you can play 6 of them at a time. So 1, 2.
I don't think that. I think that the only way to think about this is that it's like you'd have to move some players. You know what I mean? They're like stream some players.
I think
I think Mike Evans is the move.
Pick. It's a smash pick. You could actually start. So that's an example of like that's a good starter. I mean, he's over 200 projected.
Yeah,
we just looked at like 3 or 4 of my guys well below that. That helped your team a lot. That you just got way stronger. Your receiving room is so much stronger than mine. It's way better.
Hey,
Every other room on the
do some trades.
Bro, you're actually pretty okay. You're eking out something fine because you don't have to start. Chase Brown obviously is not a starter. Derrick Henry and Dameon Pierce is your 1-2 at running back. That's great. You don't even need more for this exercise because you got so many receivers to plug in at those flex spots. And Russ is not ideal, but hey, you still have a chance at a quarterback that could outdo Russ here. So let's see with your last pick. Can you maybe land on the Vikings and get Kirk or somebody like that?
Stop.
No, it's not going to be the Vikings. Oh, but Richardson might still be there.
Yeah.
I left him there for you.
If he's there.
I left him there.
That's got to be a move if he's there.
It does. He's the number 2 quarterback left. Just as a fun little there we go. 271 is his projection on here. 272, I guess you could say. Oh, Kirk went the pick before that anyway, so you couldn't have had him. Imagine if you would have landed on the Vikings. You're like, yes! then Kirk went the pick before.
You know who I would have
272.
taken even over Richardson though is if I would have got the Niners, I would take Brock.
Mm.
I think he's pretty undervalued here.
Yeah, I at this point for sure. Russ is actually projected by this to score 10 more points. So you didn't maybe get a new starter, but now you with that 2 quarterbacks, if we were playing these out, you'd have the ability to choose week to week based on their matchups. Do you want to play?
Well, I can play
Richardson
them
or
both.
Russ?
I'd probably end up playing them both, honestly.
You could, but your receivers are so good. I think your 6th best receiver is better than your 2nd best quarterback, and that's an interesting squad you got there. Interesting squad, but hey, we're gonna look at this. Your team's not that bad actually. The Chase Brown pick is gross, but other than that, it worked out pretty well. Derrick Henry he's your Christian McCaffrey, so yeah. Man, I'm dumpster diving.
That's not something you want to say. Yeah, that's not something you want to hear.
Yeah, let's go back to the handy dandy depth chart here because I think I'm gonna need it.
Who do you have to pick from?
The Denver Broncos. Oh, did I not switch that over?
Man.
Yeah, sorry, I did a spin with that, you guys. I mean, no, I didn't. Yeah, I landed on the Denver Broncos, guys.
You got to pick a Bronco.
You can see here. I landed on the Broncos. I mean, I would never lie about that.
Yeah, and we've landed on them so many times. Not only are they really bad, but they're also really picked over.
Yeah, they're also just gone. And I have so many running backs.
There'd be guys you could get here for sure, but we've just not got them. Already had to take them.
I mean, there's only one guy. I mean, I could take Samaje Perine. I think he's still available. He's fine enough to have like this. Oh, but he's actually the top RB left. So that's weird that I could actually take him here. It's a sneaky okay pick this late, but I have so many running backs already. And that's why I did not like having to take those running backs early. I have to look at the receiver here. I mean, Tyler Lockett is still out there. We could have just landed. Brandon Ayuk is still out there. There's so many teams we just missed out on. Oh boy. Yeah. The guy I'm looking for though, I gotta find him, would be Marvin Mims. He's just like a rookie deep threat. I think he's a rookie. I don't think he played last year. He's a rookie 2nd rounder out of Oklahoma. He's talented. He's not going to be great this year probably, but he's a high upside guy, deep threat type of thing. So look at that. There's my final squad.
You got a 53 out of 100. I got a 30 out of 100.
35? Just flip those around then. Look at that. Same.
36. Yeah.
Okay, but it's also, I think, counting our starting lineups and not like our best possible starting lineups. Like there's a good chance that in the Superflex spot, Khalil Herbert could outplay Stafford. You know what I mean? You could
probably get up to a D. I could probably get up to maybe a higher F.
Oh, actually, it did reorganize them to some degree because it put Samuel, Pittman, Pitts, and Burke. So this is who it thinks it would be. Do you have this page up still? Do you have this page?
Yeah. Yep.
I would love to see what you have. How it chose, because yours just was so out of order that I have no idea. And your team is actually like way more even than mine. You have a lot more tough decisions to make in the starting lineup here. So Anthony Richardson at quarterback, honestly, a really good quarterback situation. Having Richardson and then Wilson, like that'll be a great weekly streaming decision for you. Or you could do what it's saying here and start both for sure. Derrick Henry and Dameon Pierce. I mean, that ended up being there are worse off teams at their first 2 running back spots for sure, I would say. Mark Andrews, Chris Godwin, Drake London, Darren Waller, and Mike Evans all in the starting lineup, which feels right, and not starting Jerry Jeudy, Darnell Mooney, and Chase Brown. Yeah, I mean, you take off those bench guys, and Jerry Jeudy's even fine to have on the bench. Yeah, you have a good starting lineup here somehow or another. You eke something out.
Good. Not that good. I mean, definitely.
Mike Evans is like the lowest guy, and he's every single team he gets drafted on, he'll be in the starting lineup. I would think he'll be a flex player in people's starting lineups, especially in this kind of format where there's so many starters.
Yeah,
you came out.
I mean, it's not that good considering how bad my spins were. It's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. I like that, and we learned that this is a hell of an exercise. For sure.
Yeah.
We don't recommend it, probably. Don't take it lightly.
When you're doing your actual fantasy draft, don't do this.
Don't use this strategy. But
no.
I think we accomplished the goal of like your team will look pretty good if you just, you can make some weird decisions and it still works out.
What if you did like a color thing? Like it's like, I'm only going to draft players from teams that are like cool colors. You know what I mean? Like blue and green.
Interesting. Like the all blue squad.
Yeah, dude, that would be fun. We should try that. Or like
blue might be a
red.
tough color. Red would be a better color. You could get the Chiefs, the Niners,
Falcons. I mean, because you got the Bucks and the Falcons in the red category. I mean, I think you just go warm colors, cool colors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who would be good on the cool colors? I mean, you got like the Cowboys and the Giants,
the Jets,
the Bills. Bills are the best teams.
The Packers, the Bills.
Those Bengals, though, they go over to the warm side.
Yeah,
and the warm side's strong, man.
The Seahawks on the cool side.
How does green fall? Is green cool? I guess. Yeah,
green's cool. Yeah,
it is. It feels like medium temp, though. If I'm being honest.
Are you saying that visually or based on where it is in the color wheel?
Just how I feel about it,
Yeah.
It feels warmer than most of
it's pretty visually, it's pretty firmly cool, I think. But
it's like a 65 degrees though, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like it gets a lot colder.
I would say like the greenish yellow thing where it's like that green to yellow sort of. Yeah.
Yellow's
like
warm.
Once it turns, because like yellow is technically a warm color. So there's that continuum at the greenish yellow. Like
you got to make more than one jump away from blue to get to warm colors. There's no like adjacent color on the color wheel.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
blue and red are the opposites. That anchor. So like if you're just splitting it in half, basically. Yeah.
Well, that's our fantasy football.
That's the
chaos draft. That's our random wheel draft. This was a weird one, man. This was awkward, to say the least.
It was. I liked the concept.
Yeah,
but hey, we learned this stuff you want to learn in the off season. You know what I mean? When like nobody's watching.
Absolutely. I mean, and like I said, this was not a random thing. I mean, it literally was random. It was random, but the purpose was to show you that we can draft in a really weird way and still end up with fine teams. And I think we did. Your team isn't so bad that you have zero chance at a championship if we played this out. I'll put it like that. Especially if I'm thinking 10 team. Like I tried to do the 8-team league just so that we could still look like 10-team rosters, which is exactly what happened. These look like pretty solid 10-team rosters. So, all right, guys, we're going to head over to Playback, learning colors with TCP. Yeah, blue is Mike's favorite color. He's also a Giants
fan. Blue's like 60% of people. Like 60% of people's their favorite color.
It feels high.
No, that's I felt this. I thought the same. Some high number of like percentage of people that their favorite blue. Yeah, I don't know why.
Is it yours? Are you blue?
No, but mine's green. But do you?
Yeah, me too.
Do you even have a favorite color? Oh,
it's green.
Green. Okay.
Yeah. No, that feels too high. It feels like no color should be over 50%.
Right. Yeah.
I would think
blue is like statistically, it's kind of like shockingly high.
Yeah, it's like calming. I guess that's like one of the traits about it. People probably feel good when they look at blue more often, but I don't know. I feel that way about green. I'm a green guy. I like it. I'm all in.
I like money. I like green.
Yeah.
Simple.
Grass. Have you ever laid in some nice, freshly cut grass? It's like heaven.
Yeah.
Until you get up and then you're all itchy and it's terrible. It's hell. You got to go through heaven to get to hell.
Don't stop. Don't get off that freeway though. Just keep going.
You're gonna get off on the exit.
You're gonna want to be like, hey, this is pretty nice. I should stay here. Don't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep going until you're suffering.
Yeah, I mean that's generally never mind. All right, guys, I was gonna.
Dude, okay, no, but did you hear this? So I had one more thing. Did you hear this? The Nebraska volleyball, they set a world record for fans at like I think all women's sports. They had 93,000 people go to a volleyball game in Nebraska, University of Nebraska. It was in their football stadium. Like
that's why. I mean, I'm not saying
I don't know. Maybe they were just going for the record. So there was this whole thing where like Wisconsin. Did you know about the Wisconsin thing last year? I feel like I'm going to say this, and then people are going to be like, "Oh, Google." The Wisconsin volleyball player team had like a bunch of nude leaks last year. There was like photos and videos of them just like partying basically after they won the Big Ten championship. Yeah, they were like partying after they won the Big Ten championship. I don't really get it. They were
Wait,
just
why
all
is our
basically
viewer count plummeting right now? Where'd
yeah, where you
everybody
guys
go?
going? Where'd everybody go? Yeah,
Just
so there
joking.
was a bunch of nude leaks and of the Wisconsin women last year,
Mhm.
and then in like the next game after that, they set the record for like high attendance ever with like 60,000 or 65,000 or something like that. And then the Nebraska people were like, "Oh yeah, hold my beer." Like 93,000 people. It's in their football stadium. You should look up pictures of it. It's crazy. Like
That just feels
it looks like a
yeah.
football game.
It feels like you'd be exceptionally far away for a volleyball match. Like you don't need a field that big. I guess they probably sat some people on the field.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it looks like they did. It's crazy though. Why? 92,003 people. That's a weird 92,003. Like, no, there was three more than 92 for sure. We
Well, they
counted.
only let 92,000 people in, but there were 3 people counting the people coming in. So they're like, well, we're going in too.
Yeah. They must have planned it. You know what I mean? It must have been like a plan, like we're going to try and break this world record, come be a part of it. Because the other people who broke it were the
Oh,
gross naked people,
yeah. I mean,
the heathens.
that's pretty.
Are you looking up the Nebraska thing, or are you looking up the Wisconsin leaks? Oh,
This is huge.
I know, dude. I
No,
just
it's
saw it
pretty
while we
wild.
were doing this. I'm like, no, what? And I looked at the pictures, and because like you say 92,000 people, and you're like, oh, cool, fun fact. And then you look at the picture, and you're like, at a volley, why is it? What is going
Yeah.
on here?
A lot of negative space as well. You know, like I said, this is just weird. It's
Yeah,
a little
like that.
weird.
Yep. It's kind of like a concert almost.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I can't say that. I can say that I'm glad I saw this, but I can't say that I know why I'm glad I ever saw this. But it is weird. It's weird. That's why.
Yeah, for
Strange.
volleyball, it's crazy. Yep, that's our weird thing of the week. I just wanted to tell you
Yeah,
that.
think about that as you're going into your fantasy drafts on this weekend. Don't think about the drafts we just did for sure. Think about the volleyball players on the football field.
Yep.
Maybe hey, we could
Or
have
the naked
drafted
ones.
some
You
of
could think
them.
about them too.
We could have drafted some of them, and they could have helped out our teams. Maybe.
I mean, some
I mean,
of
at
them
least
are
on the bench.
better than a few of your receivers for sure.
Probably scored quite a few points in this game. I don't know if that is exactly how that would work in fantasy football, but you know.
Yeah. All right. Playback. Okay, audio listeners, thank you guys for listening to the pod. That's the pod for today. Please rate on whatever app you're listening to, and give us 5 stars. And if you're not going to give us 5 stars, then don't rate. That's, I mean, pretty simple. If you are watching on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications. Every time we're live, we pretty much give stuff away. We're about to go give away a $25 gift card right now on our Playback community. So if you're watching live, head over to playback.tv/triple cross if you're not there already, and we will do a wheel spin over there. I think we can just go ahead and end the YouTube video after Casey says this one thing.
Yep, we're also going to be live streaming our fantasy football draft, our actual live draft for this league, our sort of listener league. Listeners of the pod are drafting with us. Hopefully we have a good turnout in attendance. I know for a fact that quite a few of them will be there. Hopefully we don't get auto drafters. But I feel like going into any league, you hope for that. And there's always 1 or 2 people who at least bump in and out of auto drafting. So usually even more than that, if I'm being honest. So that's coming on Sunday. So stay tuned for Sunday afternoon. And you can roast us and all of our league mates who you'll know from the chat. So yeah, we'll see you on Sunday. Join us over on Playback right now. We're going to go give away a $10 gift card to DAP Sports, or $25 gift card to DAP Sports. I don't know why I said 10. We're doing 25.
Because it was 10 likes. Numbers are hard. Math
it.
is hard. It's not a math pod.
No, I was doing a lot of switch. My brain is mush, if I'm being honest with you. I did too much.
I know. You had to do so much.
Spin the wheel, back to the thing, then make a pick.
You did so good.
Thanks.
I'm so proud of you. Your thing was really complicated, but you figured it out.
Yeah.
It was super hard.
Yeah. I hope at the
Not
end.
just the normal math.
And
it was, you know what? Your thing was really hard for a really long time.
It was a little bit of a grind, but you know what? It didn't have to be that long. I made it that long. So, but we ended up right where we like to be, right in the like 60 to 90 mark. It's a good spot. It's a good spot to live for us. Oh, Mike, thank you. Mike saying I did great. Thanks, guys. Really, you guys better stop. I'm not gonna make it out of this episode.
All right, we're going to Playback now. Bye.
Later, y'all.